welcome to Family. We've got your back. So we have been talking about things that we can share with you, and we've had several ideas. And the idea we were going to talk about next week is what we actually made the presentation about. And I just realized it as we're pressing start. Oh yeah, we were going to talk about something else.
Oh.
So.
Well, I don't remember that as something else, so that doesn't.
I'm kind of scattered today. So hopefully we have a coherent conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, do you know what set me off with my brain scatteredness was that I noticed my hair was thinning. And that I'm getting old, and I thought, I'm getting old, but it was this was the first real thing, that really has upset me. Because the kids make fun of my gray hair all the time, and I'm like, whatever. You started going gray in your 20s, so it's not like...
I did not.
Okay.
Was it really? I don't believe
I found a gray hair in JD, our 14-year-old.
It's not really a gray hair.
This last week.
Just
JD's.
Because
it was gray. I yoinked it out and we looked at it was gray. So just saying, he's 14, he has gray hair. Anyway, and so
well, he doesn't anymore. You plucked it out.
No, he still has one more. I didn't pluck the other one. Anyway, so I'm like, gray hair is not a big deal, but my thinning hair, I was like, that made me feel like a lady.
So today's...
No, listen!
I was about to make a joke. Today's conversation is on vanity.
Do you know what's funny about that? It's not... I'm not going to hit you. What's funny about that is that that's what I had that same joke in my head when I noticed that my hair... And I said, we should do a podcast on aging gracefully and vanity. I'm not kidding. We're the same person. Anyway, so yeah, I'm getting old and scatterbrained, and apparently there's nothing up here. So
yeah, where's the segue again?
I don't feel as feminine because I'm losing my hair.
That was yeah.
So today we're going to talk about being feminine and masculine, and that it's not
it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. Being masculine is a good thing. Being feminine is a good thing.
Yep.
And people are like, what's the difference between feminism and being feminine? And what's the toxic masculinity versus being masculine, right? So it's like these buzzwords that are attacking the other sex. And so it's like, let's clear the air a little bit so that they're
Can't we all just get along?
Okay, anyway. So,
Swipe.
Apparently
there we go.
Don't have fingers. Okay, so masculinity and femininity are basically the same definition, only the words change sex, right? So masculinity, it's like the roles, behaviors, and attributes that are considered appropriate for boys and men in a given society. So masculinity is defined by your society. And in our Judeo-Christian American society, we view masculinity as men preside, provide, protect.
Yeah.
Right? And women nurture.
Yeah.
Right? And they create the home environment. And as time goes on, that line gets blurred.
Well,
and feminism happens, and you're like, well, I can do anything a man can do, and, well, sure.
Yeah.
We all are given, or we all have talents and skills that, But if you look at society as a whole, more women tend to be more relational, and men tend to be more...
physical.
Situational, yeah. I guess is what you're saying. I'm saying, like you talk about sports. You talk about events. You talk about work and issues. Yeah. And women are like, guess who I saw the other day? And guess what
Yeah.
And, did you hear about this happening to this person? And, he said, she said, right? And you build relationships that way. And men tend to build relationships in other ways.
Now, we're not saying that's exclusively how they do it,
we're
right?
not. We're saying,
but generally,
statistically, mathematically, right? And we're not saying that this is personality either. We're saying it's like in your DNA.
Yeah.
And like how if you set a 3-year-old little girl and a 3-year-old boy next to each other, they play differently. Everything is a weapon to a little boy, right? I have
or
3.
a car.
Or a vehicle or a weapon, right?
Yeah.
Or they become superheroes. Anything can be a superhero tool.
That's true.
Right? And little girls are like, they play differently. Like, I babysit a 3-year-old. 3? Yeah, she's 3 now. During the school year. And the way she played versus the way I remember my last 2 boys playing. Like, all the toys that I got out, I had to, like, go back to my girls' childhood because all the toys that I still had were all boy toys. Like cars, Legos, stuff like that. And she's like, I want Play-Doh. And boys like Play-Doh, too.
Yep.
But she wanted the heart cookie cutter, the star cookie cutter, not the truck cookie cutter. You see what I'm saying? And that's very age-appropriate and very typical of... And because it's so prevalent, it is a DNA thing. And so why would evolutionary societies evolve, right? And so why would that trait be passed on through the generations of men being more physical and more action and goal oriented, and some would say violent, but I would say protective, right? Because they don't use the weapons to like kill people just for fun. They protect the people that they like. You know, when they play cops and robbers, the bad guy gets shot so the good guys can win, right? It's like, right?
Yes. No, I'm
so
just.
Anyway,
I'm
we're
just
saying
thinking
these inherent traits that are, you know, relational versus protection are not negative qualities unless they are turned that way for selfish reasons.
Right.
Like violence, you use violence to get what you want instead of you use the violent tendencies to protect.
Well, and you know, I think about the when your car breaks down. The gut instinct is to see.
Not call your mom, you call your dad.
You call your dad. Even though the dad doesn't necessarily know what he's doing, the instinct is there.
Right.
And
or for example, if the kids call in the middle of the night.
If the car does break down and I'm driving, I'm at least going to look to see.
He's going to pop the
even
hood and
though
not know what he's talking about.
I won't know what I'm doing, but the instinct is there, and it's like, oh, and maybe
solve problems
and figure out what's going on with this. It's like,
yeah.
So lots of these things can get squashed if we don't nurture them a little bit. But at the same time, if they don't get squashed, that intrinsic desire to know what's going on is there.
Yeah. Well, and we didn't say this earlier, but femininity is the same, only the gender role's different, right? And so...
Yeah. Swipe it.
I don't know how to make it work. Okay. So we're thinking, well, what makes them toxic? Or like, you know, the buzzword toxic masculinity. And I'm like, well, violence isn't just a man thing. It's more prevalent, but like, I remember beating the crap out of my sisters and brother because I didn't get what I wanted when I was little.
Yeah.
Like,
aggression is there.
Aggression is in everybody,
aggression is
you know,
present, yeah.
But do we harness that aggression for good, right? Do we harness these tendencies that are, and we're not talking about discipline and self-control. Well, I guess we kind of are, which is what we were going to talk about next week, or anyway. We have like 3 ideas. I'm getting them all mixed up. But anyway, so...
You have 3 ideas.
Okay, discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what you don't want to do that you should. And self-control is the inverse of that, where it's you don't do what you want to do, but shouldn't.
You're right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this impulse control, whether it's discipline or self-control, right? This action-oriented or refrain-oriented ideas. And when you employ those in relationship to these natural tendencies, like everything is a weapon for a little boy, it's like, okay, so what are you going to use that weapon for? To kill my brother? No. Right? Like, it's like you're wailing on your brother with this empty wrapping paper roll tube. And you're like, why are you doing this? Well, he's the bad guy, right?
I have to give a shout out to my bringing up. We had there was a time when there was popular to have those pencils that were kind of flimsy. Pink Pain is what we dubbed this pencil Pink Pain because she wasn't used for writing. Sorry. Well, it's pink.
Well, yes, it's a girl.
But if you had Pink Pain, it wasn't used as a violent thing, but it was
a whipping.
Yeah, just a little switch. And it wasn't nefarious at all.
It's like boys handing out dead legs. They just do it. It's like Adam every day for months.
It was a weapon.
Was a goal to take Trent down, and so every day there was this wrestling match to the ground until somebody tapped out. Right? It's like, oh gosh, every day.
And it was
male bonding.
It's enjoyable.
It was a relationship building experience for them, and I'm like, I don't.
Even though there was pain involved,
I don't get it. And it stopped when Adam won because he choked Trent out.
Well, I choked him out too.
Well, yeah. So he felt he could employ it, and so he's like, I win, I'm done. I'm like, dude, that was so cheating. Anyway, you're not allowed to choke in a wrestling match.
No.
So anyway, the point is
we can look at we can smile about it.
And
we move on and we smile about it. Like those were good times. Good old days. Wrestling with Adam, Pink Pain.
Dead hurts donuts.
Like that. You got to put the knuckle out. Right there.
Yeah. Don't get why that's fun.
It wasn't fun.
I don't get it because I'm a girl.
But that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And yet it's still a 35. Fun memory for you, which I don't understand. Okay, so what makes these tendencies toxic? It's when they are not controlled, when they are not bridled, when they are not harnessed for good.
When they become abusive.
Yes. And so one of the ways is entitlement due to gender. Like, I'm a man, so I get to do and say this. Or I'm a woman, and I get to say and do this. Or like that.
Dictatorial.
Yes, dictatorial based on your gender and not based on personality traits or what's characteristics or what's best
for the group,
for the situation, right? Violence, when you use either person. Either sex uses violence against innocence.
Words are. I don't want to say the words
they use their power to harm.
Yeah.
That's not good. And this last one coincides with the first one, the lack of consideration, respect. And I put pride because pride in, like, I'm better than you. Because of
blank,
a woman, or I'm better than you because I'm a man, right? This feminism idea of we don't need men, so we're going to do everything, right? And we're here to say that yes, we need both sexes, and we need the best of each of them, and we need to draw out the best from each other instead of repress and harm and condemn and what's the word I'm looking for?
You gave 3 really good words.
Order about. What's the word other than oppress, but like lord over. What am I doing? Whatever. You get my meaning.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the type of thing that makes them toxic. And so this propensity to lead can be a good thing if the leader cares for those under their leadership, right? That's what a good leader does, is they care for those under their leadership, not I'm in charge, you do what I say.
Right.
The I'm in charge, you do what I say is toxic, or if you want to use that buzzword.
Yeah.
But the I'm in charge, you do what I say because it's what's best for you, because it's discipline.
It's going to build us.
And
It's going to build us.
self-control
Yeah.
and helps society as a whole, right? Like, no, you can't be lazy. You have to go to work, right? So the leader will say, yes, you have to go to work instead of sitting around doing nothing, because then you will starve to death, because we're not going to give you food because you're not doing anything, right? That type of idea. So anyway, let's see.
Yeah. Are we moving on to the
I
next
don't
one?
have-
I got it.
We need to find a better system, because that's ridiculous. Okay, so this first one, master your traits, like harness them, make them work for you
Just
instead
accept
of
them.
you being a slave to them.
Accept them,
Accept
and
them.
then and then perfect them. Right? Accept and perfect. That kind of rhymes.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, that idea of like, and this idea goes with the last one of confidence, but it's like when you deny who you are inside, like, oh, I'm a protector, right? And when you say, well, I can't do that because then it'll fringe on somebody else's, whatever, this feminism idea of, I don't need your protection, I can do it alone, and I can do everything and all things, and that sort of idea, that when you repress that inclination, because that's a good inclination.
Yeah.
That's part of who you are, right? Like me getting angry all the time, that is not a good thing. Like that should be harnessed and controlled. That passion that drives me to, that needs to be harnessed so that I do good things because of it, right wrongs, that sort of thing, instead of punish. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing we're talking about with masculine and feminine traits, is you harness them. And so when you deny that natural goodness inside you that makes you who you are, you get depressed. You are more anxious. You lose your place or identity in society as like I know who I am, and so I have a purpose. You lose that when you say, oh, I can't be anything like the archetypal male, because then I will get criticized and ridiculed. Or I can't wear a dress because then I will get made fun of. Or I can't be a stay-at-home mom because that's not how the world works anymore. Or all these things, this nurturing tendency that I have, it's frowned upon, right?
In a lot of circles.
In a lot of circles, and especially in professional women, being a homemaker is looked down upon, right? And so if we deny those tendencies, we lose our sense of self, and we lose confidence in who we are as a person. And so we're saying, embrace that and become who you're meant to be, and be confident.
And a lot of people do want to be. They want to be unique. They want to be different. And you can still.
There's a lot of variation in there.
Yeah, there's still so much variety in how they. So you don't. It's not we're saying you should just be a cookie cutter person.
No, no. We're saying embrace your natural tendencies that are good and harness them.
And then facilitate your other characteristics that will make those things more full. It's like that's what makes things enjoyable. We're not saying just do your role and blah blah blah, right?
No, we're not saying we're not assigning you a task.
Right.
We're saying natural tendencies to care for each other in ways that are masculine and feminine.
Yeah, and bring your individual characteristics, your zeal, into whatever it is that you're doing.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So it's like, anyway, and so we are encouraging that aspect. And so when you are, and I'm not saying like a feminine woman is helpless. I'm not saying that at all.
No.
But like when you are feminine women are strong.
Oh, ridiculously strong.
They're not weak damsels in distress, right? But they accept the protection of a masculine man.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, I can use all the help I can get, thank you. And they honor that role. Right? And that is very attractive. And when men step up to the plate, that is very attractive to women. And so when you are masculine and when you are feminine, accordingly, you are more attractive, not less. And so that's another benefit.
I did landscaping when we were dating.
That's very attractive.
It didn't
I
hurt.
worked in a
It didn't-
bookstore when we met.
That's also very attractive.
There you go.
But
I
I was
can
well,
read.
but I was well suited for my job, and she was
I
well
would
suited for her.
hate his
Yeah.
landscaping
Oh,
job.
you
I would hate it, but you liked it.
Yeah.
And so it's, yeah. So we're just each suited for something else, which is both needed.
Yeah.
And we need the
yeah.
masculine influence and the feminine influence in our lives. So our assignment this week
Yes.
is to think about ways you can harness your nature and for good, and then implement those ways. Like for me, and this has nothing to do with anything other than temperature. It's hot in the summer, and so, and dresses are cooler. They
Yes.
not cool as in I'm awesome, but cool as in it's less hot.
You're so sick in that dress.
Okay, whatever. So, so everywhere I go now, people are like, "Why are you so dressed up?" I'm not. I'm just hot, and dresses are less warm. And they're like, "Oh, that makes sense, right?"
Yeah.
But it's in a way to express my femininity, and so that's one way I have chosen to express my femininity is to be less warm in the summer. Trent has chosen to be more of a protector in our home.
Right.
And because of past experiences, and he's like, yeah, no, that is my role and I'm going to step up. And he's doing that. And so we encourage you to find ways in your life, whether it's as silly as wearing a dress or as important as saying, hey, I need to provide better for my family and I'm going to step up and get the education I need or work harder, find another job, whatever it is, right? I'm going to step up and do that for my family. So, or future family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever it is that you struggle with. Find that and implement the ways that you can harness those natural tendencies so that we can help society become more full and better and less
Confrontational. Yeah.
so that there's this gender war doesn't happen anymore, right? Okay, you guys have a good week. See you later.
Bye.